Hey, what's up, guys? Appreciate you guys taking the time on this Monday to spend and watch me. This is something to where it's a big week for me. Like I said, it's because of tomorrow. It's because of my arrest and a trial hearing that is set for tomorrow. Now, there's no guarantees about what happens tomorrow once I set foot in court. So it's at the judge's discretion. It is something to where uh, it's at the judge's ruling. So with this, with my attorney that's going to be there, this is something to where it's a totally different aspect as to the judicial system in my court hearing. Now, I stated this from the beginning, and I will continue to say this, that the arrest was unconstitutional. My workplace was a bad faith environment, and that is also unconstitutional. And that is the foundation, the basis for why what the big news is now in the country. And everybody's talking about due process, and everybody's talking about the Fifth Amendment. So this is something to where the Fifth Amendment is a big deal, and it's for reasons why when there is an issue or topic for discussion or a disagreement or an argument, we need to be able to have a conversation and to litigate exactly what our points of views are, and to say, listen, this is what the evidence supports. And that is what I'm going to show you today. The evidence to which I tried to speak with everybody that I needed to speak with to try to avoid this altercation that I had with my coworker. Now, there are several things that are a factor in this that, one, I need to be able to explain to you why it's important and why there should be an extra amount of focus on that particular part of it. From the police report, from the environment, the job, the job location, to the co-workers, to the Constitution. There are very specific aspects of this that we need to focus on, and it's something to where it makes a big difference in how you think about how this case should go and how it should be. And my point of view of exactly what happened and why I'm not at fault. I should not have been arrested. I should not have been fingerprinted. I should not have been put in jail. So this is something to where the Fifth Amendment, due process, like the stories you hear on the news, the story in Maryland or the story now in Florida. We need to be able to say what our constitutional rights are and how it's applicable to us against any accusations that are false, not true, and meant for defamation, meant to give you a bad reputation, and it's something to where it's unprofessional, it's unbusinesslike, and it's something to where we need to be able to prove that what I'm saying in correspondence to you is true, and I could back that up. I can't support everything that I'm saying to acknowledge that the circumstances in my particular case, that what happened 3 weeks ago, is unconstitutional. It's been unconstitutional in my point of view since I've been working there. And if there's a situation where, if it's unconstitutional, if it's unethical, and if there's a situation where it was premeditated, and there's a situation where there's more than one person involved, then that's either a reason for suspicion for conspiracy, and that ups the core, the legal aspect of it. It brings up to another level of the litigation in this court, in this case. So, and it's something that needs to be talked about, because with due process, if the due process is not being followed, then you're not going to have a proper investigation. You're not going to have proper evidence being filed in. You're not going to have a proper court hearing. So all these things are meant to avoid corruption, are meant to avoid a scandal, are meant to avoid issues in the court system that lead to things falling in the cracks. So this is something to where I've seen, and it's something to where there needs to be justification for it. There needs to be accountability. There needs to be responsibility of why mistakes happen in the courtroom, and we need to eliminate that so everyone has a fair and proper say. And that is all in the Constitution. That's all in the Bill of Rights, and that's even in the Declaration of Independence. So I know a lot of people think that the Declaration of Independence is not a legal binding document, but it is. The Bill of Rights, the Constitution, and the Declaration of Independence work hand in hand with each other, along with the general statutes in your state, with the laws that are applied to everyone. And the Constitution is supreme law over everything. There's nothing over this over the Constitution. So even if they try to say something, the Constitution is top tier law. It's the supreme law of America, of the United States. So with me doing these videos, it's something to where I'm trying to avoid corruption. I'm trying to avoid a scandal. I'm trying to avoid a controversy, because as America has seen, things fall in between the cracks. Things get lost, things get misplaced, and there are issues here where we're not talking about, something of, $5 or $10 or $20. We're talking about jail time. We're talking about reputation. We're talking about a career. We're talking about, serious acknowledgments to a human persons. So this is something to where, like I said, that evidence, the exhibits that I plan to hand over to my attorney to be entered, if needed, into my court case docket, is to prove my side of the story of why I should not be here, why I should be found not guilty, why there needs to be a way for due process, to have the Miranda rights read to you, to have the judicial process, to be able to get a better judgment, get a more accurate judgment. And that is what these videos that I'm doing today is trying to accomplish. It's trying to give the docket that I'm involved in, it's trying to give my attorney that my docket is on, and the judge that's all involved in my criminal case, is to give the best possible and accurate judgment in my case, and to show why I should have never been involved in that, why I should have never even been there, and why that whole situation, in plain terms, is real shady. So it's something to where there needs to be, and somebody needs to be like OSHA, the Department of Human Labor, the Constitution. There needs to be someone high ranking to overview this case, because there's certain specific aspects to this case that are really shady. And that is something that I'm trying to avoid going into trial to avoid a controversy and to avoid any confusion about exactly what's going on here. From the police report to having, major pieces not into the police report, for my Miranda rights not being read to me, to having the other person side of the story. It's something to where it's real shady, and I'm trying to avoid all that to have that judge make the best accurate possible decision in my case. So with this, I am going to end this video. I'm going to make another video with the evidence involved, and I will explain to you exactly from my point of view, my side of the story, on why what I'm saying is accurate, it's credible, and it directly involves what happened in this case. So with that, thank you, and I'll talk to you soon.